everybody, this is Lunar of Lunar Witch Stitchery. I hope that you're all doing well today. It feels really weird to be filming 2 weeks in a row, but I have actually kind of a lot of stuff that I've been up to in the past week, so I thought I may as well go ahead and film another Flosstube, so here I am. Starting off with just a little bit of like a life update. I actually haven't been up to all too much this past week. Nothing too crazy happened, which to hear from me is kind of wild. Usually I have something going on. The only thing that happened was our landlord came to do their yearly like safety check inspection type thing. So I had to like move all the stuff out of our closet because our basement where like our furnace and stuff is, the only way to get into the basement is through a like literal trap door in the floor. And we use the closet where that door is for storage. So that's always a whole to do. And since we had to do that, we ended up calling a plumber to come fix our bathtub, which has been draining ridiculously slow since Thanksgiving. I was actually really thinking that one of the cats put a toy down the drain because our drain is just like open to the world. There's no like stopper or grating over it or anything. Our house is about 150 years old and it's a rental. Obviously, we rent this place, like I said, so they don't always have like the best stuff in place at places like this, so I was really concerned that they put a toy down there, but it turned out to be something else and they were able to fix it pretty quickly. So yeah, that was my excitement this week. I was watching an old man pull stuff out of my drain. So that was lovely. But yeah, other than that, I've been pretty much hanging out. I ended up not having any work last week. I was actually supposed to be in for 2 days, but the first day was when my landlord had to come in and I need to be here for that because I have cats and I'm not comfortable having people in the house when I'm not here, just because like I have anxiety, obviously. I've talked about that before, and I would feel awful all day knowing that somebody was going to be going into my apartment and worrying about my cats getting out or the doors not being shut properly or, you know, stuff like that. So I had my coworker cover me that day, and then I was actually supposed to work Saturday, which was yesterday, but I ended up having an IBS flare up and I literally could not get out of bed until like 4 p.m. So my coworker covered my shift yesterday as well. I'm very grateful to him. I am taking his shift tomorrow, which is Monday. Hopefully when you guys are seeing this, we'll see how quickly I can edit this. But yeah, so I pretty much had the whole week to myself. I mentioned this in my last video, but my partner is a package delivery guy for a mail carrying service, and so he's been ridiculously busy. He like isn't taking any days off, which again, he's a workaholic and that's by choice. They're not forcing him to work 6 to 7 days a week, but he wants to. So he's been really busy, so it's just been me and the cats. I've been doing a lot of stitching and enjoying the peace and quiet to myself. I'm very introverted, so even though I do love my fiance, it is really nice to have the house to myself sometimes. So I'm really not complaining that he is out and about so much. Yeah, that's literally all I have. So let's get into the whip update. Before we really get into whips, 2 things. First of all, I'm really sorry if I keep having lipstick on my teeth. This lipstick transfers so much and I completely forgot that before I put it on to film, so please don't make fun of me. I'm trying my best to keep an eye on it in the viewfinder, but I can't always see it. So sorry. Second off, in my last video, because I was going through, it was a whip parade in my last video if you didn't see it, because I was going through and like listing off the start dates for everything and all my fabric types and just all the info about my projects, I decided to type up a little Google Doc of pretty much all that information about my projects. And I do have that linked in my description now. So if I ever forget to say the fabric type or the designer or anything like that, or if you want to know how long I've been stitching on it, that information is available for you guys to view in my description box. Like I said, it is a Google Doc, so it'll take you to a new tab, I believe. But yes, I'm also hoping to go in and put in Etsy links for like my needle minders and stuff. So if there's any other information that you guys are curious on that I should add to that document, please let me know and I will go ahead and do that. First up, I forgot to bring these in here, so I'm really sorry, but I mentioned last week that Ruben and I were going to do those little clear plastic Christmas ornaments and fill them with our thread offcuts for the whole year, and we did do that the other day. Yeah, I think I have a picture on my phone, so I should be able to put that in. I'm really excited about how they came out. I don't have a tree this year, so they're currently just like hanging out. So hopefully next year I will have a tree to put them on. Also, Ruben was working on his alucard cross stitch last night, and he moved his Q-snap again, so we got to see the whole piece and like how far he's come this year. And he edited together a little side by side. He took a screenshot from Flosstube number 5, which was the episode where he came on to talk about some of his stuff, and then he put it next to the picture that I took of him last night. So I asked if I could edit that into this video, and he said yes, since he doesn't really have time to come on the channel right now, sadly. So he's made quite a bit of progress. I'm really, really proud of him. I would say he's approaching the halfway mark, considering all of the outline work that he's done. But yeah, he is making some really good headway on that. So hopefully by the end of next year, he might have that done. That would be pretty cool. For my actual whip update, I have 3 pieces to show you guys, and I have done a lot of work on 2 out of the 3 of them. The first one I want to talk about is actually a new start. So this is something that I've had in my stash for most of the year. I think I bought it in April. This is the Tarot Stitch Along by Witch's Garden Crafts. This sal is complete now, so I will go ahead and share the full mock-up. Actually, I think I have it on my phone. I don't know that I have it on my computer. The completed sal looks like this, and you are supposed to backstitch the names of the cards in underneath of them. A lot of people have been really heavily customizing this sal too, so that's been really cool. Yeah, I bought this in April, and it was supposed to be a tax return purchase, but some stuff happened with my tax return, and I ended up not getting near as much as I thought that I was gonna get. So I had like a lot of guilt attached to this piece, where I had bought the pattern, I bought the fabric and kitted it up and everything, and then the next day I found out about my tax return stuff. So I was having a lot of feelings of like, I shouldn't have bought that. That was really irresponsible of me. I shouldn't have counted on that money before it was here. And so it kind of just sat in my stash untouched. But it has been long enough now that I've kind of separated myself from those feelings. It's fine. It really, really is fine. So I just made a little bit of a start on this. That is where we're at. Very exciting. This is being stitched 2/1 on 18 count. I think the fabric is called Antique Daguerreotype or something. It is from Witch's Garden Crafts, so it was dyed for this sal. And I am substituting Anchor Black for DMC 310. This is my first time using Anchor Black, and I really like it. I wasn't sure if it was going to really be all it was hyped up to be, just because I've heard like so many people talking about it in my time on Flosstube. I really like it though, so I'm pretty excited to keep using it. The whole frame is black pretty much, so there's going to be quite a bit. This is 130 stitches, which is 0.39%. This stitch has almost 34,000 stitches in it, so it's fairly large. There are versions of the cards that are non-full coverage, but I'm probably going to do the full coverage versions. I think I like them better that way. So yeah, I did that. Also, you might notice, I don't know, you can tell, I think. I'm actually stitching in the well on this piece. I usually stitch this way, with this being the right side of my piece, but I decided to try it this way just to see if I like it, because I've never done it that way before. So far, I'm not really far enough to tell if I enjoy it or not, so we'll find out as I get closer to the edge of my hoop. I just popped this into a hoop because all my Q-snaps are occupied, and this was just kind of a random late night impulse one evening. So I just grabbed the closest implement that I had to start stitching. So again, really happy with how that coverage is with the Anchor Black, and I'm really excited to see where I end up with this piece. Like I said, it's been sitting in my stash for quite a while, so I think it's going to be really great to see it all stitched up finally. The next piece that I have been working on so much is my Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along. If you're unfamiliar, this is being hosted by Autumn Lane Stitchery and Under the Sea Fabrics, and it started in September of this year. We are now up to our 4th drop. And I am trying my damnedest to stay caught up with this Sal. I'm actually doing really, really well this time. So let me show you where I was at last time. So this is what it looked like last week. And then this is where I am up to now. As you can see, that is an awful lot of stitching. So this is 2,504 stitches out of 3,688, and that is only for the 4th drop, so it's not including any of the actual queen herself. The 4th drop is all frame. So that's putting me at 67.90% complete for part 4. Really, really happy with this. Last time you guys saw it, I don't really remember what my stitch count was on it, but I'm pretty sure it was under 10%. So yeah, I have been stitching like mad on this. It's been really, really fun for me. I've just kind of been zoning out and watching like dumb stuff on YouTube or whatever. I really, really, really want this to be done as soon as possible because I really want some space from this piece. As much as I'm having fun with it right now, I just really want to focus on something else. So I'm really, really pushing to get this section done like within the next couple days, so that I can go ahead and take the rest of December off from it. But yeah, I think my favorite part is the little mushroom. It's just so cute. Yeah, I also really like how the vines are coming out too. And this little swirly one, this is the last thing I did today, was the little swirl. I think it's so cute. So yeah, this is being stitched 2/2 on 32 count linen in the shade Nightshade, from Under the Sea Fabrics. And yeah, I think that's it for her. Yeah, loving her very much. I mentioned that I was really struggling with part 3 on this piece, which was everything from like roughly here down on her dress. And I think it's just because this new drop is like so dramatically different from everything else we've been doing, but I really haven't been struggling with it at all. And I think there's enough going on that it's keeping me more engaged than how I was with her. Everybody in the Facebook group keeps calling them bell bottoms. We know that it's a skirt and this is going to be like a leg slit. But we keep calling them bell bottoms because it's funny. So, I struggled with the bell bottoms for whatever reason. But yeah, this has been really fun. I would place my bets that in January we're going to be doing the frame on this side of the piece. That's just my hunch, but I think I've been wrong on like every single drop guess pretty much. So we shall see if I'm correct this time around. But yes, that is my Dark Queen. All right, and then the last piece that I've been working on, I'm still deeply in love with this piece. I have been, or I guess I've only talked about her like once or twice, but I've been talking about her so much. This is Princess Serenity by Make It Pink. The original art is by Hannah Alexander. Yeah, this piece is so fun for me. Let me just show you where I'm at and then we can talk about stuff. So here's where I was at the last time you guys saw her. And then this is where I was able to get to for this video. I have been noticing that on this camera specifically, this fabric comes up really, really purple. It's a little bit more pink in person. Well, quite a bit more pink in person. It is definitely purple and pink, but on my camera it is like purple. If any of you guys are in the Make It Pink Facebook group, the pictures that I post there are a little bit more true to color for the fabric anyway. My phone does a little bit better of a job at capturing the color, so if you're curious what it looks like, you can find it on the Make It Pink Sal and support group on Facebook. But anyway, that was a very long side tangent. This is 4.45%, and I'm stitching this 2/2 on linen in the color Aphrodite from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm pretty sure I had this needle minder the last time. Like, I'm 99% sure I did, but there it is again. Here is a bit of a close-up of her hand. This project, let me see, I should be able to get the pattern here. In her arm, there is a crazy amount of beading. So all the way up her arm and hands, all of that white swirly stuff is all beads. So getting into her skin was a bit crazy. In the beginning, like around here, I was still using like full stitches where I was able to, but I wasn't really liking how that was looking, just because there were so many fractional stitches and so many bead holes. So I decided that like going up the arm, I'm going to be doing it over one. And for that, I'm actually doing it 2/1 half stitch. It's not like the most smooth way to do it. But for me, when I'm switching between full cross and fractional stitches, it's just easier for me to do 2/1 half stitch than go to, 2/1 half stitch as opposed to 1/1 full cross. It's just more practical for me. And also, Ashley uses a lot of blends in these patterns. So if I do it 2/1, I can just use the two strands at once and it's all good. I'm sorry if that doesn't make sense. I hope it does. But basically, it might not be the best way to do it, but I am doing it that way because it makes sense for me. The only part that I didn't do over one is this little bottom section of her hand because that's where her fingers are and there was no beads there at all. Yeah, it looks good to me, so if you don't like it, I do not care. Also, there's going to be an awful lot of back stitching, especially where her fingers are, so I'm not really concerned about that at all. After my fabric is all like rolled up right about here, so after I got to where that color was kind of ending, I think I just finished my strand, I decided to count over and start doing her hair. So her hair kind of swoops around like this. And I have been really, really enjoying doing these hair swoopies. I don't know why. They're just really fun and I'm really enjoying them. She has a lot of hair, so I'm going to be doing it for quite a while. But, yeah, like I said, very fun for me. I think currently I'm the only person doing Serenity. I did see a couple folks in my comments recently saying that they wanted to do her too, and I would absolutely love to see that. I think a lot of people are intimidated by the amount of beads in this piece. Like I said in a previous video, there are over 5,000 that it calls for. Uh, so if you don't like doing beads, maybe don't pick up any of these patterns, honestly. But if you're a real bead head like I am, it's a good time. So that is where I'm at on her. I feel like I had something else to say, but I honestly cannot remember right now. So, oh, stitch count. This is 2,366 stitches. It's actually been really crazy this past week on both her and my Dark Queen. When I sit down to work on these pieces, I've been doing like 500 to 800 stitches in a single sitting, which for me is like insane. Usually on a good day, I was getting around 150 to 200. So going up to like an average of like 600 stitches a day has been wild. It's been really wild, but the amount of progress that I've been seeing on these pieces is just making me really happy. So yeah, with the holidays coming up and everything, I'm not really sure how much stitching time I will be having. Sorry, I'm putting everybody back in their project bags. But hopefully I will have lots of time and I can continue to put in a lot of work on these pieces. My cat's pawing at my door, so I'm sorry. I hope you can't hear that. That is everything that I have for whips. Purchases. I had 2 purchases this week. The first one, I finally bought beads and specialty floss for Princess Serenity. So that's currently in the mail. It was in Texas yesterday and I live in Wisconsin, so it's probably going to be a couple days with like holiday shipping times. But I'm very excited. It was a pretty penny to pick up everything that was required because there's just so many different things that I needed. I was also missing a couple regular flosses and Ruben needed a few flosses for his piece, so I figured I would just chuck them in the cart while I was already buying stuff. So it was not my most inexpensive order, but I am very excited for it to show up. I am quite excited because Serenity calls for a silk mori, which I don't know what that is, and I have never stitched with it before, so I'm pretty excited to see how that looks. I believe it's supposed to be for her. She has like a moon behind her, and I think it's supposed to be for that. I also got a pattern from the Witchy Stitcher. It is, oh my god, what was it called? It's like the spooky wintry house. I'll put it on the screen what it is, and I'll make sure to include a picture. But I picked up that pattern. It was a Patreon pattern, but now it is available in her shop for us regular folks. So I picked that up. I have kind of been feeling like I want to do some sort of winter stitch, but I don't really like Christmas. It's just not my thing. So it's kind of hard to find wintry or Christmassy-ish stuff that I enjoy. So this was like right up my alley. So I doubt that I will be starting that this year, but I wanted to have it in my stash in case I felt like it, since I am trying to do a no spend next year. Okay, moving on to plans. Like I said, I would really like to finish part 4 of my queen. I'm hoping to do that before the end of this week. So if I do film a Flosstube next week, hopefully I will have part 4 done by then. That would be really ideal. After that, I'm planning to focus mainly on Princess Serenity. I would like to do a lot of work on her. I know that Odile is, I'm looking at her right now in my drawer. She is my older piece from this designer, but I kind of spoke about this in my last video. I have some weird emotions tied to her. If you want to hear about that, you can go back to my whip parade, but basically, too long, didn't read version of that is I just like was really frustrated with that piece because it was my first time stitching on linen. And so I have negative emotional ties to that piece, even though I don't have problems with stitching on linen anymore. So I'm kind of leaning into Serenity right now. And yeah, I'd just like to see how much I would like to see how much progress I'm able to make on her by the end of the year. I'm 100% sure there is absolutely no way in fucking hell that I will finish her by the end of the year. I know for some people, like, they stitch really fast and that would be doable for them, but for me, it is simply not. I'm averaging about 1.1% a day, but she's not my focus piece, so I've only worked on her like 2 or 3 days. I don't know. But yeah, if I'm averaging 1% a day and I work on her for the last 2 weeks of December, that's only going to bring me up to like 20%. So yeah, there's no way. I'm thinking like I could maybe have her done by the springtime. That would be kind of cool. But I'm not really holding myself to anything. I'm a little bit congested today, so I'm really sorry if you can hear that in my voice. My sinuses are like starting to go crazy. With Serenity too, there is a gal in the Facebook group for Make It Pink, and she designs these like extra background bits to go with the pieces. So this is what I'm talking about. So Serenity normally just has that moon behind her, but this gal in the Facebook group added that crystal backstitching over the top of it. So that backstitching is not like part of the original chart, so I can kind of pick whatever I want for floss for that. Sorry, my camera just was like, I'm dying, so I just had to rush to find the cord for it. Anyway, yes, so backstitching on Serenity for the background. I'm really not sure what I want to do that in yet. I know that I want to do it, but I don't know what I want it to look like. I'm kind of thinking of maybe using like a treasure braid or one of the cry-neck braids that the pattern calls for, but I might like wait until I'm closer to the end of working on her to decide. Let me know down below what you guys would do for that. I don't know if like something really sparkly like that would be too much, but like the piece itself is also like really heavily beaded and backstitched and has a ton of sparkle in it. So I don't know. Just let me know what you guys would do. Besides stitching, I also would like to work on a cloak that I'm making for my partner. This project has been ongoing for like 2 years. It just keeps getting pushed to the back burner, but I'm really determined to actually do it this year. We were missing a little bit of material. We purchased it recently. I have it like pinned together, so I just have to make that. That may be something that you guys see. I don't know. It is a black wool cloak with minky lining. It's going to have some gold and mother of pearl buttons to hold it closed and an oversized hood. This is all like his design. He is paying for all the materials and stuff. I'm just making it for him. So I'm really excited to see how it comes out. It is so heavy. I'm making it as like a circle cape. So there's a lot of material in that cape and Ruben loves it. So I might take some time off of stitching to work on that, but we shall see. As we approach 2023, I have been tossing around the idea again of possibly selling project bags. This is something that I have brought up a couple times on this channel. Again, I don't know if you guys know this, but I make my own project bags. This is what they look like. I do little zipper pulls and stuff. I like to make them to fit my Q-snaps. I use 11 by 11 Q-snaps, and I find it really difficult to find cute project bags that fit that size of Q-snap. I've had a couple folks say that they would be interested, but I'm still not sure if I have like a big enough group of people that would be interested in buying them for me to go through all of the trouble of like opening a shop and all of that stuff. So if you are interested at all, even a little bit, in buying project bags from me, please let me know in a comment so that I can kind of get a feel for what kind of people are interested in bags. And speaking of other end of the year stuff, I just wanted to let you guys know that there is a chance that this might be my last floss tube of the year. I am hoping to film one next week on like the 17th or something. But if I don't have enough to share that day, then I won't be filming. I will post on my community tab, so just keep an eye out for that. And then the weekend after that is the 24th and 25th, which is Christmas. And we will be celebrating with our families. And then the weekend after that is New Year's Eve, and I'm going to be having a friend over that night. So I will not be filming for those 2 weeks. I am considering, like, during this week filming a couple Stitch with me's to have up during that time, just so folks who aren't celebrating or whatever have something to watch. I think it might be nice to have, you know, some long chit chat videos so that you don't feel so alone during the holidays if you don't have anything else to do. But yeah, we'll have to see what kind of time and energy I have this week. But yeah, hopefully I will see you guys next week. With how much I've been stitching lately, it seems pretty likely that I will see you next week. But no guarantees. Again, please keep an eye out on my community tab, and I will post there if I am not going to be filming next weekend. I appreciate you all so much. I hope that you have a lovely end of your 2022, and I will see you next time. Bye!